handling the session because we have faced some technical glitch, and that is settled now. Because I am already into another faculty development program, I have to leave that and come to settle this matter. So there was some technical glitch. Now, inshallah, everything is settled. Now, Mr. Hansel will be handling the session from my account. Thank you, one and all, for your patience.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to be one of your resource speaker, and allow me to share my desktop. Okay, once again, good afternoon, one and all, and thank you for inviting me to be the resource speaker in behalf of artificial intelligence, but it would be in the business point of view. And let me share also my knowledge and a little expertise sorry, when it comes to artificial intelligence technology. Today, this will gonna be our agenda. Hopefully, we'll try this webinar to be simple, descriptive, and more precise, as well as, of course, we could have a fairly knowledge and how we could apply artificial intelligence in business point of view. So I'll be giving you an introduction, and we'll be defining as well the artificial intelligence, the AI, and of course the most content of my um, keynotes will be definitely on the business side of artificial intelligence and how we use this one and the benefits of intelligence as well, and some risks and limitations of artificial intelligence in businesses, and giving you few examples of artificial intelligence in business point of view. Right. So introduction now. Let's start with the artificial intelligence. So basically, artificial intelligence is not new to us, though. It's been there for quite a long time, for nearly about a decade, basically. And however, due to some greatest processing demands like speeds and access uh, to such vast amount of rich data, AI is the beginning to take the root in our everyday lives. But however, we have some natural languages generation and some voice recognition, image recognitions, and some predictive type of analytics. So later on, we will come across also with some technologies which we call ML, which is the machine learning, and seemingly like you are controlling a driverless car or vehicle. So which is AI system um, have application in many areas. These technology basically are critical to bringing about innovations, providing new businesses and opportunities to reshaping the way the companies operates. So we will see that some guidelines I'll try to input concept around AI and what is AI is normally about it, and how it's different from other machine learnings, and how we could put it on the business side of point of view and across diverse different sectors. And hopefully we'll be seeing the competitive advantage of AI. So later on, we will also see some outlines of these benefits of AI, and will give us some few examples of common AI system, which is normally used today. So finally, we'll just highlight some of which, and by giving now what is AI. So let's first define what is AI. Basically, it is a branch of computer science, and this AI technology aims to reproduce or surpasses abilities in computational systems that are generally deemed intelligent if performed by a human. So basically, these abilities might include learning, reasoning, pattern recognitions, problem solving, visual perceptions, and language understanding. So they have different parts or branches of AI, and they are these two main types of artificial intelligence are been there for quite some time. One is we call applied AI. This is basically most common, and it includes a system designed to intelligently carry out a single task. Actually, for example, just like I said, we're moving a driverless vehicle, or even like doing some algorithm that will play along with the trade stocks and shares. And sometimes this category will fall into like a weak or narrow AI. So later we'll come to that one, why it was called as a weak or narrow AI. The other branch of AI is generalized AI. This is less common and includes system or devices that can theoretically handle any task, as they carry enough intelligence to find solutions to unfamiliar problem. And with this, basically, we call this one as a strong AI, though. Just like for example, that this strong AI don't currently exist at the moment, because it seems that this technology is still still on the early stages of development. So basically, that most of the modern AI application nowadays are enabled through a subfield known as we called as machine language, or not like ML or machine learning, by the way, I'm sorry to say. So what is this machine learning? And machine learning is basically, it was rooted on a statistics, which means this ML uses a fairly complex algorithm and some statistical model that will perform a specific task without using explicit instructions, though, instead of relying on some patterns and inference. So let's say, let's have some fairly examples of ML applications. Uh, let's put this ML or the machine language into text. How can we uh, put this text into a machine learning? Suppose let's have an example of you're reading a text, and you decide if the author is making a compliant on a purchase order, and seemingly that we can also put ML in music. How can we put this one, machine learning in music? This, suppose you are listening to your favorite music on Spotify, and this piece of music is basically like there's an algorithm to find other tunes that matches on your mood. What about images? So images, basically, it might recognize this image and classify them according to their elements of that it contains. We can also put them in translation in a different aspect, that we could also translate a large volume of text in real time, and which is pretty much probably one of the examples of search engines and recognition as well, which means these recognitions like it contains some images that classify them on based on the face recognition, biometric, retina scanning, and speech and some objects. So it's like a biometric system though. So all of these are been a part of ML application. And fairly enough, we could now see how AI and machine learning use in businesses, because over the years, AI research has enabled many technologies and advances that includes this list or these points that I am showing you on my key slides. The first one is the virtual agents and chatbots. We have also suggested web searches, targeted advertising, pattern recognitions, predictive analytics, voice and speech recognitions, face recognitions, machine translation, autonomous driving, and automatic scheduling. Many of these are now in common places, basically, and they are providing the solution for a great number of businesses. And these businesses, it comes with different challenges and even much more complex in the real world and the real problem. So, which means we can see more further AI that use these cases later on in advanced slides that using artificial intelligence, particularly in business point of view. Now, let's uh, now discuss about how businesses basically use artificial intelligence. And the AI is basically is steadily and passing into an everyday business use from workflow management to trend and prediction. And we can use AI technology in or to touch improving the customer services. How can we do that one? How can we perform AI in businesses when it comes to improve customer services? So we might also use some virtual assistance programs, or we'll provide some real-time support that will that the users might enable them to interact with your businesses. For example, even a typical billing and other tasks will be a part of this improving customer services. Automating workload or automate workloads. For example, if we are collecting and analyzing some data from kind of a smart sensor, these smart sensors are basically a part of IoT or the Internet of Things that uses some machine learning as well. Machine learning algorithms, complex machine learning algorithm, complex deep learning algorithms that will categorize works, automatically even route service requests or etc. Optimize logistics. Right? This is quite common in the business point of view. If we are using an AI-powered image recognition or tools to monitor and optimize your infrastructure, the planned transport routes and many more can be happen on optimization of logistics, increasing the manufacturing output and efficiency. Moreover, of course, automations of productions line by integrating industrial kind of robots or into your workflow and teaching them how to perform labor intensive or mundane them to those different tasks. Prevent outage. Okay, this is might be serious though because the uh, use of anomalies that might uh, detect there are some algorithms that might detect this kind of techniques that they will identify some patterns that might likely disrupt a certain business, which means that there will be an ID outage. So specifically AI software may also be helpful for you to detect this kind of um, detailed security intrusions. So this is what basically we are talking about some web application securities, and we might also talk about the core defense mechanism so that we could leverage all the security issues, and we can also give straight away some recommendation how to prevent this kind of malicious intents. That this kind of disruption might be held somewhere in the IT infrastructure as well. We have also some predict performance and kind of like an human resource management like what we call is an appraisal performance appraisal system though, right? The UI the AI application might determine when you are might need some performance goals based on your goals and objectives and such as response time to help the desk calls as well. It would be also a part of the predict performances. We can also predict some behavior when it comes to business point of view. That this AI is basically use some machine learning algorithm to analyze the patterns or to target appropriate adverts examples might tailored on the product offers or might detect some other credit frauds or even targeting appropriate adverts. And we'll see also that AI could also part of managing and analyzing your data. So this is not quite new nowadays because in data science, the big data is there, data mining is there, data analytics is there, deep learning is there. So which means that the AI can help you to interpret and mine your data more efficiently and much more ever before than use old during the old days, because we will be getting some meaningful insight into your assets or maybe the branding or even particularly on your customer point of view. And lastly, could be a part of improving your marketing and advertising as well. So, which means this might be effective also to track down your the user's behavior, and we can automate the routine marketing tasks as well. So it's quite the big um, 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 coverage when we really speak about how AI will put on business aspect. Right. Now, let's see that of course, there are some business benefits that artificial intelligence will have. So basically, that this, however, that whatever reasons for considering AI, actually, AI, it has a potential. Indeed, there is a potential, and basically, if there are some changes the way the business operates, many businesses will take this artificial intelligence technology to try to reduce operational costs and increase efficiency, of course, and grow revenue and improve customer experiences. So it just let's keep in mind that, however, that AI is an emerging technology in some other aspect, may be much more complex to them, to their businesses. But as such, changing at this fast-pacing technology may definitely give us some unexpected challenges, of course, as well. Now, this time, let's see the impact of AI when it comes to businesses. And businesses are basically increasingly looking towards the way how we put AI. Probably we never even think of how this AI will be there in the businesses. The AI technology works to improve their productivity, and this is what we usually want to see, the outcomes, profitability, and the business result, of course. But however, if while there are many businesses that uses AI, there are also some certain kind of barriers, and probably these barriers later will deal in some disadvantage that we will really keep it in mind. And this artificial intelligence will really impact our businesses. And we have some AI opportunity for businesses, of course. And by deploying the right AI technology, your business may gain the ability to, we can save time and money. So how can we save time and money when it comes to AI point of view when it comes to businesses? Probably by automating, right? That's why we are now putting this technology to business. We want to automate, optimize the kind of routine process that a certain task in the business process. We can also increase the productivity and operational efficiencies. It's already late. It's already direct to the point. That's already the function of that being an AI business. Make faster business decision, and based on what? Based on outputs. But if we are talking about outputs in the business point of view, I believe that is we have uh, we have to talk on the cognitive side of technology. But that would be another type of discussion that we will be dealing with the cognitive technologies and the business point of view. How can we avoid the mistakes and human error? But basically, artificial intent to be, and by doing that, so of course we have to provide the right way, the protocol, the right AI system that needs to be set up properly. So of course, human error will be there. We at least we'll minimize those kind of mistakes when AI is there on your businesses. Use insight to predict. Use insight to predict. Predict what? Let's put on the customer point of view. This prediction of customer preferences is become more elaborate when it comes to AI. And this might them offer them much more better choices and pretty much like personalizing their experience while they are dealing with your businesses. We can also mine best the amount of data that this generating the quality leads and to grow our customer based on the presumption that this big data data analytics will might give some models to predict what's going on prior to the gross or the profits or even the loss. AI also gives a more impact when it comes to increasing revenue, they said, because we can AI can identify and even maximizing the sales opportunity on that particular algorithm. And it will grow the expertise. However, we have to enable the most of our data analysts that they might offering their intelligent advice and support as well. We will talk about those data scientists and data analysts that they are working upon on the development of AI in businesses. However, there are some um, studies that says that the main driving force of AI in business was the competition or competitors kind of advantage that they will might rely on some incentives that it will came across their businesses. I think one of those are maybe some executive decisions of prior to the company owner as well. Probably some particular businesses that might operate operational that needs more technical expertise because however some technical problem might occur, maybe also that one of the impact will be some internal experimentation that might lead it to fall ups and down of the business. And of course one impact that we might be considered as well is the customer demand as well. And however we have other some problems that might occur, unexpected solutions will be there and which is not even there on your list. And sometimes other products needs to be offshoot. So all of these will definitely will impact on the business of artificial intelligence. Benefits of AI and human working together is a real kind of more on discussion. And however, they say that uh, some research just suggested that AI doesn't want to replace the human capacity. I mean, replacing the manpower, and hardly we could mimic even the human emotion. But even though that AI doesn't always perform the best of its own, the AI technology are having a great and driving or even replacing the lower level or repetitive tasks that the businesses often achieve the greatest performance of improvement when human and machine works together. So basically, let's put this in like a reality show that uh, we're making the most of the powerful technology in our business, but you should consider also that AI means like an augmenting rather than replacing the human capacity or I mean human capabilities, just like a reality shows. Augmenting is a kind of another term that we might also consider that we are really mimicking every single activity that's going on the business side. AI opportunities for businesses, it's most likely however, we have to consider the AI that there are many potential that it will really change the way your business operates. And of course, as a matter of fact, all it takes that you start to be an open-minded attitude and a willingness to embrace this new opportunity whenever wherever possible will be because AI will really give us the change if we really accept this new technology in our business point of view. And we'll see now that some risks might be happen when we covered um, businesses point of view because though there are some limitation of AI, but increasingly demanding that this business are increasingly looking for ways to put AI in technology to work, and it will improve the productivity and profitability of our business result. But however, while there are many business benefits around us, there are also some certain kind of barriers. So these barriers will definitely give us some disadvantage, but we have to keep it in mind. And this such like the ability of the data, skill shortage, costs, and technology. Imagine one of the main barrier that most likely AI will be implemented in businesses is this ability of the data. Data sometimes often like inconsistent though, and sometimes they're giving us some poor quality, all of which that all present in the challenges of business looking to create more value on AI at their scale. But then to overcome this one, of course, we have uh, to have a clear strategy, of course, some outset for sourcing the data that your AI will be requiring on your businesses. This skill of shortage is basically a kind of another roadblock when it comes to limitations of AI and business. And due to the availability of technical staff that might be experienced or expert on training, that might need some training as well, that efficient to deploy this kind of operation of AI solution. And however, of course, they say that we're having now a pretty much shortage when it comes to AI experts. Most of these people, they call themselves as data scientists, or maybe they are kind of skilled machine learning professionals that really this specialized people are we have a kind of short supply, and we need to outsource this, and the cost is definitely will be there. That's why the cost will be a part of it, because doing that, so like SAP or the Oracle AI is a kind of expensive technology that we have to embrace upon once that we're putting this one in our business point of view, because this cost is basically we have to consider, because with producing AI technologies, businesses will really lack of in-house skills that might be unfamiliar to AI. So these are kind of major, not major, but a part of the risk and limitation of AI when you want to put it on your business aspect. Technology is there, of course. The technology, because we're now dealing with data science, and or dealing with hardware and software technology, software programs are need to regularly update and adopt. And this changing of business environment and put them in a kind of case of breakdown of your system. But however, this present is a kind of risk that might also be losing your code, and some important data will be there. So it's more on the AI limitation and the technology, because we will try to implement some other limitations as well that might also a part of a risk and limitation, because due to this implementation time, we might be performing it in a lengthy depending on what you're trying to implement on your AI businesses. It could be the integration challenges might have lack of understanding of the state of the art system, and probably though even the usability and interoperability with other systems and platforms will be there. But going back to the technology, we have also to think of AI driven technology, which we might also be encountering some limitation or some risk, particularly when it comes to customer privacy, potential lack of transparency, and technology complexity. A- All of this are, if you're considering this, are like a tender document to procure AI. I'm sorry. We really want to seek some people who are really specialized to this kind of field. So risk and limitation is a part of business process when it comes to AI intelligent. But if we put them in proper place and proper planning, of course, seemingly our AI will be work fine out. We have also to consider AI some ethical concerns pertaining to challenges and other solutions but that we might also be occurring on our businesses. With this rapid development of AI, basically, the number of ethical use issues, it was been trimmed down, no, and it was scrapped up already. But what are those? One is the rise to job losses. There are some potentials of automation technology that might happen. So, which means it will give us some rise to job losses. Retrain employees. Sometimes we need to redeploy some employees that should be retrained to keep them in jobs. Fair distributions. And in what? Probably wealth, because it was created by a machine. The effect of machine interaction. Um, yeah, this is kind of um, effect of machine interaction on human behavior and attention even. So we can see this is a part of definitely an ethical concern. Algorithmic bias. We're talking about AI developers here because the need of address of algorithmic biases. This is sometimes we considering it originated for those data scientists, developers, AI developers who are basically kind of a human bias in their side of data concern, the security of AI system, and which is basically like um like an autonomous weapon, and it could be potential cause of damage as well. The to mitigate need to mitigate what? Probably against the unintended consequences that might smart machines and smart machines can taught to learn and mimic the way human interaction might be. So it's like a development. It can develop independently. So it's an AI and ethical concern. But while we cannot ignore all of this risk, basically, because it's kind of a worth keeping in mind that advantage in AI can, for the most, of course, advantage of AI for the most, but we can create a better world, better business, and better lives for everyone. And if we implemented this responsibly and artificial intelligence, I believe it will be immense and it will be beneficial potential to us. Let's give some examples of artificial intelligence and this when it comes to businesses. And of course, AI is already around us. And basically, you have likely used it on your daily commute, searching the web, or checking your latest social media feeds. But whether you are aware or not, AI has a massive effect on your life, in our life, as well as our business. Here are some examples of AI that we may already been using in a daily basis. These applications of AI in business managements might include this list. Spam filter, quite common nowadays now in our email application, smart email categorization, voice to text features like translation, though. Smart professional assistants. This is kind of very popular when it comes to our smartphone devices, particularly if you're running with your Android. Cortana, no. Android is like in the Google now. In your iOS devices, the Siri is there, like an AI voice assistant, right? And Cortana is, I believe, is under the Microsoft technology. Automated responders and online customer support, process automations, sales and business forecasting, security surveillances, smart devices and adjust according to their behavior, automated insights, especially on the data-driven industries like in financial services or in e-commerce. Now, since now we're on the business side of we I we categorize them in an e-commerce, and how can we give some examples of application or um, of particular business point of view when it comes to e-commerce. And basically, smart searches and relevance features are there when it comes to e-commerce. Personalization of a services is also there. Product recommendation, purchase prediction. This is good though. Like you're also like having an algorithm that there are some product recommendation as per customer demands as well, and the way they purchase. You can also predict that these items will gonna be purchased in the long run, or even not. They might have also some suggested features that want to be add on that particular products. Fraud detection and prevention of online transaction as well, and dynamic price optimization. Right. All of these are part of an e-commerce if we put AI on it. Artificial intelligence when it comes to marketing. Okay, marketing. These are the examples of marketing that includes AI. Could be recommendation and content curation. You most probably, of course, most of the business specialize definitely uh, very well versed on this marketing aspect point of view. But we'll just put the AI aspect. Personalizations of news feeds, patterns and image recognition is also part of marketing. Language recognition. You can digest unstructured data from customer and sales prospects. Ad targeting and optimize real-time bidding. Customer segmentation. Social semantics and sentiment analysis and automated web design and predictive customer service. Now, we have seen those business point of view. What if we could practically see the AI solution? There are so many available AI solution, some of which are, of course, is pretty much costly because you have to be licensed and to be uh, a part of that business solution. I just listed some example of few AI solution like let me try to open up this shed2.com, and I'm going to be open my browser, and you will also find this that one of your small businesses might also need some um, kind of business solution that they will provide to you though. See, AI software development services, um, they are also providing like a business intelligence and AI software. This is kind of natural language processing as well, which is the NLP, are now pretty well known now on our data science specialization in IT. Machine learning is there, of course, intelligent document recognitions, robotic process and automations, and regulatory compliance of the monitoring, and so many more actually. You can see the data-driven decisions making is there, marketing and sales, customer service, and so. Let's try the other one. Say um, www.augmenteer.com. This is one AI solution as well that also will tailored also your business point of requirements, and through that one, of course, there are some experts and that will lead you or guide you through your businesses. Right. So I think this is AI-based performance optimization for your frontline workforce. Right. Still loading though. Manufacturing, preventive maintenance, changeover inspection, installation, and fields of service. And of course, at the end, of course, the customers will be on the happier side when you are providing this kind of facility on AI technology. Let me show you these chatbots. Nowadays, you've been hearing about chatbots. What makes these chatbots become a part of an AI solution? And from the word itself, chatting, but it was been like a robot is answering your messages. It's a bot. It's a kind of good algorithm that they have provided on AI. With the chatbots, it will automate everything. All the concern of the customers service is like a breeze according to these chatbots. Imagine, no? really don't want to replace our call agent, that they are the one really um, answering our inbound or outbound concerns, particularly in whatsoever services that we want to ask them to do, and some problem within your services of the product or so. But imagine that chat box can automate those customers that might have those inquiry, and um, and they will also empowering the companies to stand out with the customer experience as well. And these are the people who started off the chatbots. Let's try the other one, like the Oracle. Okay, Oracle that Oracle has been there for quite some time, and they have so many branches of technology. And when they came into the artificial intelligence, basically, they combine all the data sciences, deep learning, machine learning services. Those developers that really works on this kind of fields, they will really tailored, or there are some pre-built kind of models that will only works on your businesses. Those applications will operate as similarly that on your processing way of business. Those data sciences are basically will really be with you, and those data scientists I'm pertaining, they really will going to build and train and deploy this kind of model that will your kind of framework will work on your businesses. It's a kind of enterprise resource planning, or the ERP, but in a different touch of much more advanced features of technology, because just barely an ERP is just like a conventional ERPs, of course, with an with a kind of modular type of application that runs into a huge enterprise. And that said on, of course, it might need also more on expertise on that particular fields like SAP. But with the touch of AI, is we're talking a different thing now. Right. So all of these are just quite some few of AI solution that I have prepared for you. And at the end, of course, at the end, these are only some few of the glimpses of our AI that we might include in our small businesses, or even large businesses or huge businesses that's already there. And with the pace of development, basically, it's still increasing and more demanding. There will be might likely much more to come to the near future. We never know. And and a part of that one, with this emerging new and diverse industry 4.0 technology, there will still be many other examples of digital innovation that will work in business. So for that, I will conclude. I will end my presentation to you, and I hope you get some information, a little bit of AI when it comes to business point of view. Thank you very much, and we could be having now a Q&A portion. I'll just give it back to Mr. Muhammad. I believe I'm using his account. Um, thank you.
Hansel, are you there?
I'm good, Mr. Kashbe. I'm
Okay,
good.
Hansel,
Thank you.
thank you so much, for this lecture. Really, we do appreciate that. I really do thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.